Oh,
Recording is on.
oh, snaps. Okay.
Yes, yep, recording is on.
Ooh,
Yeah, and today, Deb gets to do that with Marcus Chambers.
hey.
Hey, wow, I am so glad to have met you at Toastmasters.
Yes.
And now, did you come as a guest of Madonna?
Yes, I did come as
Yeah.
Madonna. She's been before then, she was my mentor for about 2 to 3 months, and she invited me to come to your guys' group as well as a couple more to try to find the best group that was gonna fit me and kind of my time and my schedule. And Thursday Night Live was the best group for me.
I really like that group in particular because it's a large group, but it's not an exclusive group. And but because it's a large group, it also gives you more opportunity to connect with people
Yes.
and get to know them a little better. It's a lively group. It
Yeah,
really is.
very
Yeah.
well. Yes, I think Madonna and I went to 4 different groups, and Thursday Night Live just had a whole different atmosphere and feel that the other groups were still cool, but the vibe and just the feel of the people and the connection is just totally different. And so that's why I'm glad that it fit my needs of like when I can actually make it, so I can be a part of that group.
Yeah. I'm glad that you can make it. Especially now it's online. I guess you have no excuse anyway. Yeah. Yeah, and uh I know for a while it was looking like it was going to be difficult for you to make it because you had some training going on. Tell us now, you are training for the Olympics,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
2020 Olympics. And tell us how that's going now in light of the pandemic.
Well, the virus changed everything just because this year was supposed to be the Olympics. And so I was supposed to have Olympic trials in June. And then the plan was to make the team and have go to the Olympics in July and August. But with the pandemic and everything getting pushed back, I kind of needed to take a week break to really create a plan to make sure I'm ready for next year. And so after I took my little week, because during that week, there's frustration because I wanted it to be this year. I've waited a whole 4 years for it to happen again. And I came so close last time. I'm like, okay, this is going to be my year. But since that didn't happen, I was a little frustrated. But at the end of the day, everybody has to go through it. So it got to get to the point where I just got to let it go and be like, all right, what are we going to do to make sure we're ready next year? So I called my coaches and we kind of met in my dad's garage and we just kind of sat together and we really talked about things and just what are we going to do now? What is the plan? Are we going to train like we're still going to race? Are we going to train this type of maintain and stay in shape? Are we going to train and more focus on my strength? Are we going to focus on my speed? Like, what exactly are we going to do? So we really had to sit down and really come with a plan just to make sure that I'm ready to go still, that I'm not just sitting on my butt for X amount of months just because of this pandemic. And at the end of the day, if I just sat on my butt throughout this whole pandemic, then I would lose a lot of the strength and the speed that I had. So we wanted to find ways to keep those things, even if it's in-home workouts or if we had to find a way to get on a track or something, we were going to make it work. And so I created a great plan, and like we've been doing it for about 3, 4 weeks now, and I still feel good about my training and where I'm at, and I still believe I have a bright future in the sport. So that's kind of where we're at, and just like what we're doing and dealing with things. And it stinks because I still want to be able to use a weight room or some of these other things that I used to be able to do, but I can't use a weight room. I can't get a massage. I can't do some of my normal routine things to stay in tip top shape that
Yeah.
I'm doing. But at the end of the day, everybody got to go through that, and I can't just be picking and complaining. So I just kind of let it go, be like, all right, this is what it is, and keep moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, good. I, I'm not Olympiad or
Olympian,
Olympian. Can you use
Olympian.
that word?
Yeah.
Okay. I, I am not, but I can tell you that staying home, even though I work from home normally, staying home is not the same as working from home. And everything that you do from home is different. If you work out, you need to have a different routine. Your diet needs to change everything.
Yeah.
It's just your whole body gets turned upside down.
Oh yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to my diet, since this pandemic happened and the Olympics got pushed back, my diet kind of got thrown out the window. Like I've been eating a little bit extra sweets than I should be, and a little stuff like that. But I do believe that I can change that and get back to normal at a point. But during the pandemic, sometimes you just need some sweets. Sometimes you just need some bad foods just to kind of get you through the day.
Yeah, you do have to have some variety, and there's not much now.
Exactly.
You are doing a lot of running, and I imagine you've done quite a few other things in your life. How did you start training? What made you start wanting to train for the Olympics?
The Olympic dream probably came after my first state title in high school back in my junior year. That kind of, well, actually no, after my sophomore year, I decided to participate and do summer track. And in summer track, there's this junior Olympics type event that goes on that you have to qualify for. And I was blessed enough to qualify and make the junior Olympic team to go compete in my race. And I got a first taste of that type of racing and that type of lifestyle. And I ended up taking second place. And when I took second place out of all these athletes around America and competing at the Junior Olympics, that just made me start thinking about the Olympics and creating that dream that really I wanted to pursue. And I didn't start running track until my freshman year of high school. I was kind of playing all sports growing up. And the one common theme was that I was always the fastest guy on my team. And so I was always the fastest guy, but I never wanted to try track. I just wanted to play those team sports. But then in high school, that's when I wanted to make that transition and try track out and see if I like it. And I loved it. And then when I loved it, that's why sophomore year when I decided to do summer track and I made the Junior Olympics, that's when that whole dream started to come forth.
Okay. Yeah. And I didn't see that. I looked at your website and I didn't see the Junior Olympics.
Yep.
Did you place in that event?
Yes, I took second. Yes. The first year I did it, I took second, and the year I went after, I took first. And so
awesome, great.
I went back, and then I made that, and then that's when I started really trying to pursue the Olympics, because after I won the Junior Olympics, that's like an American thing. Then there's the U.S.A. World Junior Olympics, and so then like after I graduated senior year, I tried that before I went to college, and that's when I made my first U.S.A. team, where I went to go compete in Medellin, Colombia, and so that's my first taste of actually getting to race against people outside the country. And so when I went there, I did well as also, and I came back with gold. And so that's when I was like, ooh, racing against everybody in the world around my age group was fun. But now I want to do it at the top level, which was the actual Olympics.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize there were all these other games. Although I did know there are ways you do have to compete all the way to the Olympics, and there must be some other games. Definitely. Yeah. And I assume it takes your life, so you're not able to work and train and all of that, because it was just,
you really want to dream this lifestyle, you got to be all in. You got to put full force. There's so much different things. Like a lot of people might think that track and field, like, oh, you just go practice real quick, but there's so much other things you have to do outside of just on the track. You still got the weight room. You still got to see your PT, your chiropractor. You got to get massages, and all that stuff takes a lot throughout the day to do. And you still got extra exercise you got to do. So there's so much different things. So that's why when it comes to trying to do other things as well, it's kind of hard.
Yeah. Well, as long as you have a supportive environment where you can have people help you along the way, you don't have to worry about money too much, basic necessities, right? I mean, we can all live on the basics. Yeah.
No, so I'm definitely blessed because after graduating college, I was blessed to sign a contract with Nike to where they're my sponsor. So they help me out when it comes to the money, when it comes to the traveling, and all those other things. So I'm definitely thankful to have that support system around me to where I can really dial in and be able to pursue this dream.
I think that's great.
Yes.
And I think also I was on your webpage and I saw that you do some keynote speaking.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now I know that you just joined Toastmasters, but I did glimpse into your speaking and you seem fairly polished. You've done a lot of speaking.
I mean, I wouldn't say a lot, but I'm trying to do more and more. It's just when I was in college, I worked for, I not worked, but I was a part of the O Heroes program, which is basically the student athletes that give back to the community. And whenever a school wanted a student athlete to come speak at a school and just give the kids some insight, I was always one of them, the first people to go. And so I enjoyed going, sharing my story, and just giving the youth some insight of how life is or how to get to college or with the athlete perspective or whatever it was. So I enjoyed that. And so then that's when my senior year, they asked me to go speak in front of the donors dinner. And that's basically, and so there was like 1,000 different adults there. It's like this big event. And so I definitely didn't, I was nervous. I didn't really want to do it because I just didn't think I could speak in front of that many people at that time. But eventually I decided to go do it and I loved it. And I got a lot of good feedback. And so with me doing that, that just gave me a feeling of just I love to go share my story and speak and just try to motivate or anything to anybody, whether it's youth, adults, or anything. I do believe that I have a story and I have things that can compel to all different age groups. And so when I moved back home to Washington, that's when I wanted to seize the moment and really try to get out there and really try to give back. Because one thing for me, if you really know me, you know that I love to give back to my community. I love to find ways to give back anyhow. So me giving keynotes to schools and other things is a way for me to one, generate a whole second platform for myself, but two, also give back, which I truly deeply in my heart love to do. And so I've gotten a lot of great feedback from the youth and the kids that I come speak to, even the teachers. They love what I come to say. And so yeah, like I haven't done a lot, but I've definitely been able to get my foot in the door to where I'm starting to generate more and more opportunities for myself.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And during this time when we're all stuck at home, I saw you made a comment about writing down your stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you tell me about your stories, or maybe
a
story, or what your goal is?
Oh, well, you know Madonna, and Madonna likes to help me see the big picture and plan for the future. And so she was just telling me that, I have multiple stories within my life that could possibly be keynotes or something that I want to be able to share, whether it's to youth, adults, businesses, or whether they're more. So I just wanted to kind of think about my whole lifetime and just think about what I would like to share because, for example, like, I'm an athlete, I'm a professional athlete pursuing the Olympics. So, everybody wants to hear that hard work, that adversity type story and all those other type of things. But it's like also thinking about stories of example of me struggling in school as a kid, but then eventually being the first male in my family to graduate college, so thinking about that story and how I would want to present that to get people to think about pursuing college and open up opportunities that you might not see for yourself at the beginning. And so that's just one major example of something that's not just the athlete side, because I do believe that I'm more than just an athlete. Like, yes, being an athlete is the main point, and I do have lots of stories when it comes to being an athlete. I do have stories when it comes to confidence. I do have stories about adversity, because there was a point where I wanted to quit track and field. And so I have a lot. There's stories about teamwork. There's stories about leadership that I have when it comes to being an athlete. So I do have a lot of stories I had to write down and generate and see how I want to put things together. But there's still other stories as well that I want to think about and try to write down and really see if I could use these later on in some of my keynote speeches. And so, like, I went to go speak at a health and wellness conference a couple months ago, and so that it's also something different to where I'm more talking about just the health and my lifestyle instead of just the working out piece. And so, just seeing that many opportunities might open up, I'm just trying to think about anything that I can use and then I'll sit down with Madonna and be like, all right, this is what I have, and this is what we're going to keep, this is what we're not, this is what this is for, this is the major point. And just try to put things together, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think that those stories will also help you a lot when you need to do a speech at Toastmasters.
Yes, that's another thing.
Particularly if you want to do a speech contest, because for those you generally need moving stories. That just seems to be the style.
Yeah, no. And then I do, like, I watched my first contest this past Saturday, and good job, by the way. But
thank you.
For me, I would say that I personally, like, I enjoyed it, but I don't really want to do the Toastmaster contest. That's nothing against it. I just don't feel like that's for me. But I do love to share my stories with Toastmasters and help perfect my craft. But I don't believe I'm really gonna do the speeches, the contest though. In the long run, I do enjoy watching it though and supporting my friends and teammates.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I appreciate you supporting us, Madonna and myself, but because you're supporting Madonna, and so by default you're supporting me too. Yeah.
No, I'm supporting you too.
So when are the games now? They were rescheduled, weren't they?
Yes, they're rescheduled for, I believe it starts July 24th next year, 2021.
2021. Okay.
Yep, so we got a whole year, and then Olympic trials is in June again. I don't remember the exact date, but it's roughly the same time. So it's really everything is pushed back a whole year. So there's not much dates really changed. It's just everything's pushed back.
Now, but does that affect the future? The 2020, is it 22?
Nope, it's not. It's not going to affect the other Olympics. The next Olympics will be 3 years instead of 4 years away. It's not going to affect anything.
Okay, all right.
Everything is staying the same.
Sure.
Just keep.
Awesome. Now I saw also you won some awards on. I try to do research, and I was looking at your website and I saw some of the awards that you'd won, and they sounded impressive. Honestly, I don't know what they are, and maybe you could give me like a highlight of what was one of those that are the most meaningful for you.
Some of the most meaningful ones. Okay, well, I'll go from high school to college to whatever when it comes to awards. One of the most important awards on the website for me in high school, like, I won some state titles, which are great awards because that just means you're the fastest kid in your state, which is great. But when I won Gatorade Athlete of the Year, that was one of my biggest most accomplishments, because being Gatorade Athlete of the Year, that proves that you're winning state titles, but it also shows that you're doing well in the classroom. You can't win that if you don't have over a 3.5 GPA. And so I just believe that was a good representation of me representing Foss High School. And I really love my high school. And so I took a lot of pride in getting that award, to be able to put Foss on that pedestal of just, hey, we create athletes and student athletes. And so that was one of my most biggest accomplishments in high school, because I really believe that. I really love that, because only one athlete gets it. And so for me to get that, especially on somebody that does track and field, that was very important. And so in college, I would say one of my most biggest awards was just the national championships my team won. So we won 4 national team titles, and so for me, being able to be a part of a group that worked so hard throughout the year to go out there and just get the team title. And so me scoring points, like my best placing at nationals was second individually, but I still placed and did a lot of things to help us capture that team title. And so we got 4 of them. So I have 4 national championship rings. And so that's something that I very cherish because we all worked hard for that and we all deserved it. And then in the professional aspect of just the awards, I would just say when I won gold for the Pan American Games, I mean, that's just something that the Pan American Games is pretty much right under the Olympics. And so being able to go to that event representing USA on my chest, and where did I go? Toronto. Yeah, I was in Toronto for the Pan American Games and winning gold and just doing well in that. That's just an award that I cherish a lot. But I have a lot of different awards and records and stuff like that. But those are just some of the few that I really take into my heart and just say, hey, I love doing these or getting these.
I think they help keep you inspired, don't they?
Yeah, but even if I didn't have the awards, I would still be inspired because I'd still be pursuing this goal and this dream. Like no matter what. Now, yes, it's good satisfaction to be like, hey, you're making stepping stones on the way to the Olympics. But like, even if I didn't get any of those awards, my inspiration and my drive would still be there no matter what. Because I want this so bad and I want it so much, and I believe that I can go get it. And so nothing's gonna stop that. But it is nice to get some awards to be like, all right, we're on the right track.
That's great. That's great.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Madonna, we're back to her again. She was telling me she is competing for the Senior Olympics, and
yes,
you are her coach.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can be a coach and an Olympian at the same time.
Oh yes. I mean, it's just trying to find the right time. Like she understands my balance of just what I'm training to do. And so when I'm free, I'm going to wiggle her in. But then she also has a lot of drive and determination to where if I tell her to go do something by herself, she's going to go knock it out. And I don't have any issues of like, did she do it? Did she not? And so that's why our relationship as a coach to athlete works so well because I know she wants it so bad and I know she's going to do it even if I'm not there. And then when I am with her, there's never any questions. She understands that I'm the coach. And so that's where I have the knowledge at. And so she's going to do what I want and what I say because it's what's best for her. And so that's why it all works out. And that's why she's done so well thus far. And we're going to keep doing well. And then same vice versa. When she's my coach, when it comes to speaking, I have to be quiet and I have to do what she says because I know she is the expert in that realm. She's the expert in speaking. She's the expert in public relations. And so those are the things that I take into that's why I take and believe what she says and just goes knocks it out and we make it work. But yes, you can be a coach, and I do love to coach because I love to help people out and I love to help people reach their goals. And the one thing for me is that my knowledge is track and field. So it's like I know how to get someone fast in order to reach their goals as long as we have a good plan and a base. And so yeah, it's fun and I love to do it. And I've coached a couple others as well. And so yeah, I keep my athletes to a minimal small because I'm so focused on me, but I do have time to help some others out.
Yeah, that's great. And I found out about that because there was a article in the News Tribune about Madonna, and they referenced you as her coach in that article. I think that was a couple of months ago, maybe January.
Yeah, probably January.
Yeah. And I was before that. I hadn't known much about either of you, so it was nice to see that and recognize people I knew and get to know them better because you had both just recently joined the club, and I hadn't met you yet. I want to know more about the personal side, maybe the things that, is there something that you struggle with more than other people or something that let's just start there.
Something that I struggle with more than other people. Ooh, like I do believe there's definitely things that I do struggle with, but just trying to think about that and just try to put that out there. Um, ooh, sorry, I'm blanking. My bad.
That's all right. That's okay.
So I believe, well, I don't, well, actually, okay. So I believe that I don't believe that this is something that I struggle with more than other people, but I do believe a lot of us have a mental struggles because, like I've struggled with my confidence before and just trying to believe in myself and just try to pursue this dream as well as other things I want to do within my life. And so having those mental blocks, because at the end of the day, we all have failures, we all have things don't go right for us. And so I feel like for me, it's just there was a point in time where I really had to just regroup and get my mental state right. And I can admit that it's hard and it's a struggle and it's definitely a process, but I had to find help in a sports psychologist to really sit down and just try to pinpoint things of just why my mental state's where it's at. And so I feel like that's something that I definitely struggled with. And at this point right now, I do believe I'm very mentally strong, but throughout these years, I do believe that mental side, which a lot of other people struggle with as well, but that's one of the big pieces that I had to be able to overcome to get to where I'm at today. And we still have those things, but I still speak to my sports psychologist. I still do exercises to be able to control the thoughts and the different things and the negativity that surrounds myself. But that's something that I do believe I struggle with. I hope that answers it kind of,
Yeah,
but
I think so. Yeah, yeah,
that's definitely the big hurdle and something that I struggle with.
yeah. And you mentioned something that I hadn't heard of before specifically, which is sports psychology. I
Yeah.
didn't know there was a special
Yeah.
field just for
Mhm.
that.
Yep. I mean, a psychologist or psychologist, but there are some that are specified more towards the sports and the athlete. And so for me, it's just like speaking to a therapist, but it's a it's one that's more targeted to sports and just have more like the understanding of sports and just whether it's team, individualized, whatever. It's just something like that. So yes, I do have one, and I'm not scared to say it. I'm proud to say it. Like I have no issues with. Some people go to therapists and they don't want nobody to know, and so I'm somebody that's like, no, it's definitely helped me. Her name's Ann. She's helped me so much, and I appreciate everything she does. And so yeah, like I mean, yeah, that's something that I needed
Mm.
to be able to get through to get to where I'm at today because my sport is 90% mental. Like my body can do so much, but no matter what, if my mental state's not believing it or saying it, then my body won't produce. And so, like yes, I have a lot of these wars, but there's been so much in this sport that could tear me down. And they have at some point. And so for me, I won't let that happen again. But yes, like my mental state needed to be able to overcome. And so I can now, and I can definitely say it, but that doesn't mean that I can't
Yeah,
change things. So yes, the mental
yeah,
state is something that I've struggled.
yeah. Now you are not alone, right? You're staying with your brother.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That must be nice than rather
Well,
than being by yourself.
yeah, it's nice to be around family, but I try to stay away from my grandparents and things like that just in case because I still be out and about a little bit. But I still see my parents and all that good stuff. But yeah, a lot of family time, a lot of relaxing. But yeah, well, I'd like to get back to normal though.
Yeah, yeah.
It's about that time.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way. I kind of don't. Even because normally I work from home anyway, the impact on me has really only been energy. I have so much more of it. And if I have to start going out, it's going to go back to the way it was. And I don't understand why there's so much difference, because I showed houses. I went to Toastmasters. I don't know what else there is. What else am I giving up? Well, I still go grocery shopping.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I never did do a lot of other shopping. Clothes, I'd only shop for those, oh gosh, once every couple of years, because it takes me literally all day to try on all the clothes, because they don't fit me. You know about that anyway. You're probably sick of hearing about that. Yeah. That was the topic of my contest speech, and I got to give Toastmasters credit. They have a lot of patience, because how many times I practiced the speech, and I imagine everyone is pretty sick of it by now.
No, listen. Hey, you gotta perfect your craft to be ready for the show. So you all good. Annoyed. You all good. We all support you.
Yeah, well, great. And we're also supporting you in your effort to become the gold. Is it gold? That's the highest one. They don't have a platinum, do they? Yeah. Yeah, we look forward to following you. And I wish, if this were the show that I originally planned on, I would want to get some footage of your different events and
maybe
follow you to the gold.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Hey, well, we're not done yet, so we can always find some time when life gets normal for you to come out and to see some things, get a little extra for the show.
That'd be awesome.
Well, cool. You're always welcome.
Awesome. Marcus Chambers, I really enjoyed talking to you today. It's really fun to be able to say, Deb did that.
Yeah, Deb did that. Appreciate it. Heck yeah. It's cool. I really appreciate you letting me be on your show. I love Deb Did That, and thanks for having me. I'd love to be a guest.
Awesome. Now, do you have any parting words, or do you want to share some contact, how people can get more information?
Well, name's Marcus Chambers. You can check me out on my website, marcuschambers.com. Instagram's Marcus Chambers 400. Twitter's MJC253. And thanks for having me. Check Deb Did That. She has amazing videos outside of mine. And catch y'all later.
All right. Okay. We'll see you around, Marcus.
Appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Have a great day.